last night, Chris Wallace talked about the Clinton Foundation and Hillary Clinton defending a promise she made before Congress back in 2009 to avoid even the, quote, appearance of a conflict of interest between the foundation and her time at the State Department.
Emails show that donors got special access to you. Can you really say that you kept your pledge to that Senate committee? And why isn't what happened and what went on between you and the Clinton Foundation, why isn't it what Mr. Trump calls pay to play?
Well, everything I did as Secretary of State was in furtherance of our country's interests and our values. The State Department has said that.
It's a criminal enterprise. Saudi Arabia giving $25 million, Qatar, all of these countries. You talk about women and women's rights. So these are people that push gays off buildings. These are people that kill women and treat women horribly, and yet you take their money.
So that was a moment then. Now, Adam Hodge, Communications Director for the Democratic National Committee, with me here in Las Vegas. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
She talked about the furtherance of American interests. Was that the case?
Yes, I think you look at the work of the Clinton Foundation. I'll take that work any day of the week and twice on Sunday compared to the Trump Foundation. Look, they've done incredible work. They got an A rating from one of the charity watchdogs. They've given away 89% of the money, and the only foundation in this campaign that has been under investigation for any sort of improprieties or a quid pro quo is Trump's foundation.
And she tried to turn that back on him last night. There is no denying that people have been helped through the work of the Clinton Foundation. However, what Republicans will argue consistently is that if you're allowing Russian companies to get the contracts to mine for uranium, how does that further American interests?
Well, you want to talk about Russia and furthering American interests. I mean, you know, throughout this campaign, Donald Trump has been cozying up to Putin. He still refuses to accept and acknowledge that Russia is behind the hack all the intelligence agencies have found is trying to undermine our democracy and interfere in our elections. So when we talk about Russia, that's Trump's got.
But the question was about uranium. This could be a national security interest.
I think the national security interest in this campaign is the fact that the Republican nominee for president is cozying up to Vladimir Putin, is encouraging them to hack into the DNC, into the Clinton campaign. This should offend all Americans. Look, I don't agree with Marco Rubio on a lot, but you look at what he said yesterday.
No, I heard what he said. But
exactly.
Back to the question about what Wallace said. Did she keep her pledge?
Yeah, no, I think you look at what she was talking about with the Clinton Foundation. Look, the work has been remarkable. It has done, and there has been no evidence found that there was any quid pro quo with the Clinton Foundation. And look, the Trump Foundation is under investigation for the quid pro quo with the Attorney General in Florida. And he used his foundation, which he didn't put any, we found no now, he doesn't put any money, any of his own money into the foundation. And he's been using it to buy Tim Tebow helmets and self-portraits. I mean, want to talk about foundations, I will take the Clinton Foundation.
There was another question about her comment about common markets, open borders, etc. And she said that speech was about energy.
Yeah, well, look, if you look at what we have on the border with Mexico, we have energy crisscrossing both sides. We want to have
I get it, but that's not the way it was interpreted.
No, but that's
it
what
looked like she was caught red-handed.
No, Bill.
Talking about things that she has defied and tried to suggest that whether it's TPP or fair trade agreements, something that you know was red hot during the Democratic primary.
No, look, she's been very clear that we need to have comprehensive immigration reform, and that's what she was talking about throughout this campaign. But look, the only reason why this is even coming out right now is because Russia has hacked the Clinton Foundation.
I get it. I understand the concern, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not true. Last question. Did the Clinton team negotiate to not shake Donald Trump's hand?
Look, I'm not sure what the negotiations were behind the scenes with with their team. But look, one thing I will say, we had a great night last night. Hillary Clinton had her best performance of the debate. And again, she laid out her vision. She laid out the solutions that she has for, and that's what we're going to continue carrying on in the final days of this campaign.
Nice to see you in Las Vegas.
Pleasure.